Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist ball. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up, right? No, we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride. You do better keeping it quiet. My pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened. I like who I am, but I'm biased. The palette is right, and my drip is a fountain. I'm not like these regular guys. All of that talk is misguided. She like the way I make the tape print, but the way I make the words play is grim. I'm the reaper reaching for the kill switch. The label cut the check like the blazement. Something sparking where his brain is. The beat is somewhere where they prayers in. Geronimo, the way I make the bass jump when no parachute is tasted.
What's going on, everybody? Oh, goodness. Here we go. See, Josh?
That's how you can tell it's the holiday season. We overlapping.
Right. Getting it started. But, yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Throwing Hands. I was going to do an introduction with both our names, but we didn't already ring it off in the first arguing with each other, running over each other. But I'm Jay.
And I'm Josh.
Yeah, how you feeling today?
Not too bad. It's the holiday week, so you know how it's been at work. Things are crazy. Things are slow. Simultaneously, here we go.
I know, man. Same here. Been a little up and down in the work portion, but you know, what's going on, Joshua?
What's up?
But yeah, you work tomorrow?
Yeah, I work tomorrow. Then I'll be driving out to Lake Havasu with my boy. We're gonna spend Thanksgiving out there in Havasu.
Nice. Go back and see the fam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you? What do you do for Thanksgiving?
I'm not positive yet. Probably gonna be doing something here. My sister probably whipped something up. I just went to the store earlier to grab some couple of things I'm gonna whip together. Mostly bringing desserts this year.
Oh, okay. See, people hate me with desserts because unless it's vanilla ice cream or like Boston cream pie, I don't really fuck with anything else.
You don't eat anything else, or you don't cook anything else? Because it didn't sound like you.
Both. I get a lot of people that'll like make cranberry bliss bars or whatever, and I'm like, nope, I don't like it.
That's funny. Yeah, it's gonna. I can't wait for my Thanksgiving menu. I don't know what it's gonna be like this year. I'm ready for the mystery because there's always something different with our family every year.
Oh yeah.
What is on the menu this year? But yeah. You guys usually do traditional? What?
Lately, it's been kind of all over the place, but yeah, we try to do like little traditional. So we got the turkey, the ham. My dad's Italian, so he's always making up lasagna from scratch, doing all kinds of stuff. Me, I'm probably gonna gain 20 pounds during it.
Well, make sure to bring me a plate.
Nah, I'm greedy with that shit.
A plate, man.
Nice. Yeah, but hey, I know we got a very special guest tonight. You know, she's part of her journey now with a big new fight league that's popped up this year, UFL.
Mm-hmm. We got to had a chance to cover a couple of them, and we were at the last one, and we got to witness her put a whooping on her opponent, advance to the next round. So, definitely, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially too after that last fight. Let me tell you something. This fighter is on a rampage inside the cage, committing carnage on the big stage. She's crisp with her boxing, making her opponent's teeth go flying. She'll light you up with several cuts, walking you down until your face she busts. She's got adamantium for knuckles, damaging your neelupalium and setting your cortex into a vortex of locomotive motions, killing off your motor functions, and now your career path is put in question. Ladies and gentlemen, you better get ready as she's the one and only Brittny Cloudy. What's going on?
I'm over here dying.
You know we gotta introduce you, right?
I wasn't expecting all of that. What's up?
Much how you feeling?
Yeah, gotta keep it guessing, a little fresh every time. Josh,
Definitely caught me off my toes right there.
I told you we had a special intro.
Okay.
Yeah, but how you doing?
Man, I'm doing really good. Man, just training and life and doing working my new job that I'm working right now. And there's a lot of good things coming in the new year. So, but I'm also looking forward to spending some time back home for Thanksgiving and the holidays. So I'm really happy, just pretty blessed.
Nice.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Where is home for you?
St. Louis. St.
St.
Louis,
Louis.
Missouri. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Mhm.
So you are you gonna kind of take a little bit of a break and get into some eating this time around?
You know, I feel like there's been so many holiday seasons that I've missed out on because I was training, there was a fight, something was happening, and now I'm in a position where I actually can enjoy the holidays a little bit. So I'm gonna go home, enjoy some food, catch up with family and friends. I feel like when you get the opportunity in the midst of like training and working towards something, it's good to also have that downtime and relax. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that for the rest of the year.
Nice. And that's what a lot of people don't necessarily see is that when you're training, when you're competing as a fighter, oftentimes you have to miss out on the celebration of being able to sit down with your family, enjoy an actual meal and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I haven't functioned off of like normal like holiday schedules or anything like that because it's just been week in, week out, same routine, training, fight camps, and ebbing and flowing with everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah. At least you get to this time around celebrate a little bit of that, and which one of the better holidays to jumpstart that in Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Good.
And this year's my mom's birthday lands on Thanksgiving, so that's kind of cool.
Oh,
Get to celebrate
nice.
her birthday too. So looking forward to that as well.
Nice. That's
Mhm.
awesome. What's your favorite meal during Thanksgiving?
Let's see. As far as like my combo, what Thanksgiving usually looks like, I like the dressing and macaroni and cheese. It's so funny. It's probably the third time I've talked about Thanksgiving food today. But I definitely love, some good dressing, some good macaroni and cheese. And then I also like to stop at other people's houses and do a little brief comparison, get multiple plates in a day. So that's the routine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You gotta take the trip in that circle. You gotta
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
those usual folks. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Everybody makes different things. So you get a chance to, like, all right, what they got over here, say, okay.
Hmm. I always love free food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
that
know,
I always gotta hear everybody's candy yams. I
yeah.
the candy yams. I always gotta taste everybody. Some of them put the little mandarin oranges in it sometimes. Some of them just got it fully coated with the
Hmm.
marshmallows. I don't know. I
Mm,
like to taste the candy yam.
yeah, I
Um,
agree.
so what kind of brought you into fighting as a whole? When did it kind of start? When did your love kind of start to develop?
Mm, I've I've been in sports like all my life. I started playing basketball early on, and then I ran track. And I think what I've learned about myself is I'm always going to be competitively doing something. And after track, I got exposed to just MMA and started going to some different fights. Um, and the more I was around the sport and realized, like, okay, so maybe it's not all just like blood, gore, and violence, that there's like some science to it, there's some technique to it. And that piece right there like captured me because I guess I like to play chess. I like the sports that are mental, along with physical. So I was like, all right, let me just learn how to throw my hands. So I'm gonna try boxing, see how it goes. And once I started that, I really realized like, okay, might be pretty good at this. And then jujitsu is a different space, but I don't know, just everything I did, I just wanted to like know more and learn more. So it became just like a fascination and just determination. I'm like, all right, let's see how far this can take me, or let's see how much better I can get. And every time I leveled up, it's like, okay, so what's next? So, all right, let me go pro. And it was like, all right, where can I go? And it's been like that aspect of the sport, and along with just like really fine tuning on something and working on it and getting better at it has been very just become like a lifestyle. I remember in the beginning they said that like martial arts was a lifestyle, and I definitely have like my life is fighting now.
So it's
I
more
could
of
go
my
ahead.
bad. So it's more of the competitive drive
Yeah.
that kind of pushed you along in the sport.
Yeah. Like everything I've done has been just like, competitive. I like to compete. I like to do, I've recognized like talents that I have. Like I'm really strong and I have pretty good speed. And I feel like those attributes really like show up for me. And maybe once upon a time, I didn't like how long I was, but now I found something I'm like, okay, this actually works out for me, right? And I can, teach someone in the face with my big ass foot,
No, yeah, you put on a great performance when you fought in the last UFL against Veronica, because that's where I picked up the boxing background, because how you would set up your combos, your utilization of your range, like I could tell that's where you had started, and you excel very well at it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I what's funny is that I just really been kind of going back into boxing here lately. MMA is just so much to learn, and
Mhm.
so sometimes it's nice to like just go back and work on things in isolation.
Mhm.
So I'm back at boxing, and like, see, that's another piece that like really drives me about the sport is I'm like I still find things that I need to work on.
Yeah,
As much as I also see like my progress, it's also like, okay, how can I do that a little bit better? Um, so that keeps me going, and lots of like new things that are happening in the fight world that are also like coming up on the horizon too. So I'm game, and right now I'm just gonna enjoy a little bit and then get ready to get back at it in the beginning of the year.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's almost why you see so many of the guys and their journey humbled during the journey, because like you said, like you reach a peak and then boom, there's something else to learn, or you reach a
Yeah.
peak and then someone else comes and shows you something different.
Yeah.
So it's always that competitive, that chess move. What's next? Kind of like
Yeah.
what you're kind of pushing
Yeah.
towards.
I think that's important in this game. Like, if you want to have longevity, you have to have that kind of mindset that it's the continual process of growing. I know that we want to like get to where we want to get to like that, but if it was really set up like that, then it would happen. But it's not. So that what the little cliche that they say, fall in love with the process.
Mhm.
So that's where that really shines in.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing too that I really love about MMA is that because the concept is mixed martial arts, it's about your ability to isolate different disciplines between boxing, jujitsu, you can even throw in judo, other things, being able to isolate your skill set in each of those and then find a way to blend it together to create an effective strategy.
Yeah, yeah. That's what makes it an art, because you have all these different tools, and every person has their things, and how you choose to put it together is like what makes you unique, and how you finish fights, how you do anything and everything. It always comes out to show, and I think that's the other piece that we get from the sport, where I think many people like it so much, is because you get to see all of the different personalities from the fighters too. I don't know, but I like that. So it's always like, all right, you got these two different attributes, two different personalities, kind of mindsets, and let's see how they uh, put together a good game plan to win in the end. So there's so many different like layers to the sport that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the biggest things for me growing up is that tied me into it so much was like kind of like what you said, the personalities, the differences of the personalities that you get to see clash, and you can kind of see that in their fighting styles a lot too. That carries over.
Mm.
So I think that was always a pull for me. Unlike the other sports, where like football, basketball, there's other players around them on their team that kind of they overshadow or kind of hide a lot of their personality on the court, so to speak. So this, when you and them. That's it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
What did you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, what did you do in track?
I did long and triple jump. I did really a lot of the events, but those were my main two. I did short sprints and long sprints, and then post collegiate, I did the multi event. So I learned how to like throw the javelin and the hurdles. Like I've done most of them, but long and triple jump were my bread and butter.
So do you think that at all, especially with long and triple jump, there's a lot of the stretching that goes into it and a lot of that practicing with that hip movement and things, has that helped you at all in your progression during mixed martial arts?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really think that everything has compounded on itself. Like the skill set that I got from basketball, just agility wise, being able to move laterally quickly and things like that. Also in combination with the power and learning how to like push off the ground and accelerate at a 0 to 100 kind of speed. But then all of those things go together. I want to say that because track is such a powerful, explosive thing that I really had to like learn how to like not take lunge big steps because that was like how my body naturally wanted to like react. So it took a lot of like unlearning some of those pieces, but still like taking that um, that concept to apply it to fighting. And I really feel like, with a lot of time and work on it, that I've managed to translate it over pretty well in my footwork and my hands. So, yeah.
That says a lot too, because especially like I love using Conor McGregor as an example because when he had switched over to boxing and he tried to go back to MMA, he ended up picking up bad habits that he had a hard time breaking. And typically, when you come from different sports, there's always certain habits or different styles of working out that you have to fine tune, break down the bad habit, build up good habits to translate it effectively. So that's very good for you to have the ability to translate what you did with track, with all the events that you did, and utilize it in the cage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still feel like that happens like every time I switch over between one of the disciplines, just like you said. So I can go from doing MMA and then I go back to doing boxing. And I'm like, oh, I got to work on my jab a little bit better because I've gotten some MMA habits that are, conflicting with that. So there's always that piece there too. And that's another literally conversation of today and just working on like, all right, now I need to go back to this and let's get that back moving and how we can then take all of the growth and put it together, like, because we're going to take some of both sides of that, to really be that much more dynamic. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to put it all together.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like you with the track side of things, you got that explosiveness and all that the fast twitch muscles and things that you've worked on all that whole time in track that you're able to now kind of bottle up and kind of learn when and how to trigger that and when to use to make it explosive on your opponent. So it's really dope to kind of see that translation too.
Yeah.
People always, you hear a lot of wrestling, you hear a lot of, boxing. So it's good to hear other sports as well. That like track is a big one, and especially with that athleticism, and it speaks a lot to the types of feints and things that I was seeing from you in the ring with your opponent as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning how to make those small movements. I like to also think, well, the other piece of fighting is just dance. I really, you know, the feints and being able to be creative with how you set up your strikes is like essential. Because that's the point, is that you want to tell a story that keeps the other person on the edge of the seat where they don't know what's coming next, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, which requires you to be able to like make up a story on the fly. And so it's that kind of story that we're telling with our bodies. So I'm gonna show you this. You know that character's coming back. And for me, it's like I shove the knee. I make you think about the knee. And that's the piece of what makes mixed martial arts really fun for me, is just that there's so many like variations and dynamics and different strikes that you can pull into how you decide to put together your fight, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great. That's why, like, me and James, we always crack up about it. But like, I don't really follow much football, baseball, basketball, things like that. I've always been on MMA, and the thing that I admire about it the most, especially, is the ability to not only chain different styles, but the art of deception. Because you could throw a 1-2 that connects both times, but then use it to feint to set something up. They try to pick up on the pattern. You could switch it up, keep them on their toes. And like you said, it's like dancing. The more unpredictable and the more creative you are, the more effective you are and able to implementing your own game plan and putting on that show and that character.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm still gonna also say at the base of creativity is still good technique work too. You know, you better keep your hands up and defend the punches too at the same time. You know, so being able to like have good discipline within the techniques as well as also trying to art. That's why I feel like that's what's so challenging about the sport, and why it takes a little time to like truly like grow and develop, because there's just so much to learn and so much to grow from. But you know, I also think that there's some people who are just really natural at it. But I also find that those people have been in the martial arts or in something like early on in their lives, and so like they have some type of background too that really like that they play off of, that kind of helps them in the game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once things start becoming second nature, it really makes everything just click, kind of flow, kind of like what you're saying with that dancing.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, you still got to respect the game. I mean, a la Anderson Silva. So there's that type of situation as well, where if you don't keep the technique going, the buttons get pressed, and you end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um, what has been kind of the most challenging thing for you? Coming from past sports and competition, seems like you know. Um, and I'm sorry I didn't do my background on on the track stuff, but it seems like you were successful in that as well. So what has been some of your biggest challenges switching into more of a physical contact, and mentally um, demanding sport as well?
Yeah. I think it's those challenging things that also is what has compelled me to the sport too. In
Yeah.
the sense of like, oh man, that was really hard. That really sucked. I want to, like, how do I deal with that? Because I've never gotten punched before, so of course there was always that moment of like, okay, so how you gonna take this punch? You gonna learn something about yourself that day. you know? So when that happened, I was like, okay, and because I'm already competitive, so I was like, all right, okay. It wasn't because until you actually put yourself in a situation on the other side of it, you're just looking at something,
Mhm.
and you don't really know like exactly what that's like until you actually go through it and live it. So um, I feel like learning the things that I learned about myself through the sport definitely like yielded the most challenges. Is like it definitely exposed areas where I'm like, okay, man, I got some little mental midgets over here, and I need to deal with those, or else if I don't, my opponent's gonna find it, you know,
Mhm.
and I don't want them to find that before. I want to address that before the next person, I guess that's my mentality of it. And so through training, I found a lot of like personal development within it, of like, okay, this is not only like making me become a better athlete, but also a better person. Um, and you translate that over to life and like how you deal with other situations that happen, that um, could impede in wherever you're trying to go. So that's also, my other part of my background outside of a fighter is that I'm a therapist. So I'm very like a strong believer in just mental health awareness, but then also just like holistic wellness of
Mhm.
understanding like our whole person and how we impact all those aspects of ourselves. And we have to kind of do the work in all of those spaces if we really want to really progress to like higher levels, that we may see ourselves being. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. A lot of words. um, yeah.
Yeah. A book that you made me think of, because I'm a book nerd, so I read all kinds of stuff. Psychology has always been one of my favorites, and a book that I read was Justice and Equality by Hugo Badeau, and it talked about, actually referencing Mike Tyson, how it's some of the best athletes you see come across usually have the hardest stories, or they go through the most hurdles and challenges, and are the ones that typically are the hardest on themselves too. So it's like, whenever it's easy to say what you're gonna do in the cage, but in reality, when things flip, or when you're the one that starts getting tagged, it's a very big character defining moment, because oftentimes when people's holes get exposed in their game, you'll see some people, they completely ignore it because they don't want to accept that part of it, and then they just want to keep moving forward and make those mistakes. But for you, it's very good for you to have the ability to reflect on that, be able to fine tune and sharpen any dull edges you have, so that way by the time you step back into the cage, you're well off and way ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this a little video segment of Lauren Hill talking about people coming into the room saying that they know her. I'm like, no, you don't know me. I'm just getting to know me. Like in that aspect of just every time we go back into that reflection and hibernation mode, I'm coming back somebody else. So
Hmm.
there's going to be pieces of me that are still there, but just know that they're always constantly evolving as well. So there's going to be that element, and don't sleep on me, because that's the process, and that's the work, and that's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Constantly evolving and changing, and like you said, you're getting a new version of me every time. That old one's gone. This is
Yeah.
this is where I've learned that this is the next step that I've taken. Um, so how has your connection with UFL, how has that been going? Um, and what is your take on what they're trying to bring to the table as an organization for the fighters?
Yeah. I like to believe that things just be happening for a reason and at great timing. And I'm super like excited that all of this kind of aligned to be able to work with this organization that's doing really, really great things, just like already in the beginning of its infancy, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so far, I have really enjoyed being a part of this organization, and I'm really excited to like see the growth and where it goes. I'm just watching like just the fight game and just different things happening. It's just like we don't know what's coming in the future, but when you feel something and you're a part of something, you're like, that it's going to be in that space. And that's a really good feeling to have. Um, I really felt like uh, I've been treated really well as an athlete, and organization also like providing free healthcare for the fighters, like this very big. And uh, we put our bodies on the line, so it does give like a lot of security and the thought of like, okay, I'm good, because our health is obviously really important too. And I've been to some different organizations in the beginning of my career, and just seeing how they're running things like from the jump is like, whoa, okay, So very happy, very excited about what's happening, what's coming up, and yeah, looking to see, just riding the ride, riding the wave right now. It's going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely say on that, to your point there, for them to have put on such a great production as quickly as they
Yeah.
have, and to have continued that push says a lot. We've seen a lot of promotions ourselves, and they focus on the fighter, and that's something that you don't get everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, those are like really strong attributes to see, like a lot of success, and also like where you put the successes where the athletes enjoy being and where they want to stay. or just the name that they put in the mouths of others when others ask about, hey, what do you think? There's going to be like good things to say.
Yeah. And speaking of history, like you said, you get to be a part of a very great beginning with the UFL because at the last one, we saw you face and defeat Veronica Smolkova. And now you're moving on to the tournament finals to compete for the first ever UFL women's bantamweight title against Zurina Turrey. So how does that feel for you, especially being part of that stepping stone and being that part of the history for UFL to compete for their first title?
Right.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like all this positive energy, everything with the alignment, it all feels like I'm really happy to be exactly where I am. I think it would mean a lot to be able to start a good wave of history with this organization, and set the tone too for the talent that comes through. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Like I already see it. It's happening. It'll be, and then after that, I know that just more like great things will blossom from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks, or I should say last couple of months
Yeah.
in the MMA world, especially with the acquisition completion for PFL Bellator.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's now. We're gonna see how that roster shakes around because there might be
Yeah.
some things that fall off that tree. Um,
Mhm.
UFC getting linked up with what was it? The WWE under one umbrella. I forgot what they named that whole conglomerate.
Mhm.
Uh, but I think that might shake some people off of that tree as well. So there's definitely going to be some free agents available out here. Uh, Definitely going to be some movement going on, and I think that you're in the right spot. Definitely, fighters want their health care. They want promotions taking care of them, or focusing on making sure that they're taken care of, and uh, increases their longevity in the sport as well.
Yeah, and also some financial assets of being able to um, share in the company as well. So thinking even beyond the cage, but thinking as to like how we can like also like take care of the fighters even beyond that. So, you got people like Rampage in the corner who, you know, was a fighter, so he knows the life and has that mindset and knows exactly what it is that, we need and how to make it all be put together to run something really strong and produce, great athletes and great performances too.
Yeah, that's what I love about this new era of fighting as well, because Rampage, and he was part of that very first era, that first generation that went through Pride, that went through those older organizations where, I mean, you could do 3, 4 fights in one night and you'd hardly get paid anything, hardly any rules, stuff like that. So especially now moving forward, one thing that I love about at least modern times with it is that, especially your popularity, your social media, that gives you a lot of protections, not only in regards to the temporary assets of yourself and your career, but your future as well, even after fighting. Because like Frank Mir talked about in the Harrison Rogers Experiment podcast, how there's fighters afterwards that are back to work in a 9 to 5 job because nothing came through. And with this industry being, I don't always like to say kill or be kill sport, but it kind of is in a sense of how business is done. For you to effectively market yourself and branch off and build yourself, especially like with UFL giving you shares, stuff like that, that adds protections not only for yourself, but for your family, for your kids, and for your loved ones, even after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a bigger picture. It's not just, that person in the cage, it's that person you outside of the cage too, because we all have of the lives too that we're a part of, and we want to be able to do what we love and do it for a while and still, not, find ourselves, worse off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Definitely means a lot. I mean, we've seen the one sport that I usually compare it to in this, because it's still MMA is still young in retrospect of the other sports, is football. And we've seen progression at the beginning to the end, and where we're at right now. And now we're seeing the league go back and say, hey, all right, we need to add more protection for our players and more this, more that. So it's good to see an organization starting at the beginning and making sure that we don't run into those things down the road. Um, so question for you. What would you say to the young lady watching from her home? And not even in a sense because you've been through quite a few different sports and things, but what would you say to them if they're sitting there, they're not knowing what exactly area they want to go into? Maybe they want to get into MMA or something, but just in general, 'cause there's a lot of youth out there that just need, like we were talking about this whole show, positive energy uh, and positive reassurance.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would say you don't never know until you actually try. You can sit there pondering and wondering, what if, what if, what if, but until you decide to like make some actions towards something to find out the answer to that question that you might be having, it requires some action. So that ability to get up and go after it is already the first step, self-trust and like, all right, there's something I want to do. I'm gonna go do it, and see how you like it. And I think that once you start doing it, you'll know. But until you get there, you won't know. So, but I guess I encourage those to be curious, to ponder into some things that, that you think might captivate you and find out.
Like,
Definitely. And that popped up a question that I have now, because usually me and James, we kind of hit that question too, but now, because fighting especially is all about legacy, and throughout all of human existence, our names being remembered even after our death has always been very high staple point of what we do in our life. So for you yourself, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind when you people look back at your career, the kids and the new generations coming up, when they see what you did in the sport and what you did for the sport, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Mm, well, besides the physical things of like, man, she made the sport beautiful. Look, you saw the beauty in the sport, but also just maybe the resilience to for self improvement for us individual as people doing something good for ourselves to make all of our lives a little bit better too. I like to think that we're having more conversations about just being better and healing ourselves. It's a lot of things going on, so much hurt and pain, and to be able to see someone who speaks that and embodies that and work toward, being that and sharing that with others as a positive thing to feel inspired to continue to do it on. So the more people, the better. So I would hope that that kind of sentiment will be left and that there will be positive impact on others that people continue to do on and share with others too.
Absolutely. I love that. And it's, if you feel you have the capacity for greatness and to make a great change in the lives of others, then it's almost like it's your obligation to do that. And the positivity, the love, and the peace that you spread and the impact you have on everyone is what gives you reverence and make that obligation worthwhile.
yeah, it definitely goes a long way. And Josh, you want to ask the corner question? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So another question I always like to ask is that if you could have anybody in your corner for one fight, they could be alive, dead, they could be in the sport of fighting, or they could be completely out of the sport and something completely different. Who would you want in your corner for one fight?
It's kind of funny because this person is not even in the sport. I would want Issa Rae. I know this is weird, but
Okay.
I love her. I think that she'll be my best hype woman ever. She gonna say the right thing to me, and I'm like, yeah, we about to go out here. We about to amp shit up. You know what I'm saying? Tell me that, and I'll be like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll go out there, and then it'll be, yeah. So anyway, yeah,
I love that.
She would
We
just
all need
know
that hype.
how. Yeah, she just know how to motivate you, huh?
yeah.
I love that.
That's
Mm.
that's.
Yeah, I feel
Uh,
confident about that one because there's way too many great people to have to choose. But I'm gonna go for personnel on that.
Exactly. You gotta add some flair with that. You come
Yeah.
in walking down the walkout and then and up to the cage. You got her behind you. Oh shit.
See, I remember at the last UFL as well. You were one of the more lively ones on the way to the ring as well. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that energy translated when you got in the octagon as well. Because
Yeah.
once
That
the
was
cage
really fun.
closes, you already got to have them jitters already gone. It seemed like you already got that rid of, in the back or wherever, because you came out bopping and moving and grooving with the music,
See, now you
Yeah.
got James dancing.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's just changes, man. Just like smiling.
right?
uh, but every day, every fight, I'm learning more and more about like what I need to put myself in a place where I need to feel to get ready to like fight, and I'm trying out different things. And this time I was feeling jiggy and I wanted to dance. So that was what I did.
Weren't the I think the coaches that were walking with you, your cornermen, they were dancing with you, so it was a whole vibe when y'all came out. It was a whole vibe.
Yeah. We rehearsed the court. We came up with the routine and everything that day. So I was really proud of them for like, two-stepping it with me.
That reminds me of the walkout Israel Adesanya did against Robert Whitaker. How he had his boys come out and do a dance with him.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
remember the dance. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to have fun, man. I just want to like also bring some fun to it a little bit. It does help with the jitters. But I want to just be reminded that I enjoy what I do. So, want to dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
find peace in the war.
Exactly. It's the delicate, beautiful balance between those two.
Yeah.
Well, Brittany, we really appreciate you coming on. We it was a while. We had to wait, but it was definitely worth the wait. Um, you know, before we let you out of here, is there anything that you would like to say to anyone out there? Any shout outs you want to give?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for, chopping it up with me and having me on. I'm glad to be able to catch up with you guys. Um, all the time, I'm always really thankful for, the people who are around me and everyone who supports me. And they all know who they are, sponsors and like friends and people that I haven't even met before. Like, there's so much love. I'm always wanting to give thanks because you guys definitely keep me going towards what I'm aiming for, even in moments when it's hard. So I'm very appreciative of everyone who's always supported me along the way. So love.
Well, we appreciate you, Brittany. As I always say, it's a genuine privilege to be part of your story and to see you grow. And I'm definitely excited to see you fight again. That's for sure.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, and I'm excited to come back and put on the show, and it'll be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's always good to have, as a daddy daughter. How you say that?
Daddy
Uh,
dog, girl dog.
Dad, you know,
Yeah.
no, but it's always good to have positive role models that you can point them in the right direction for, too, so that they can look up and see something to strive for and have something to look at and say, yeah, you know what, I can go and do whatever the heck I want to do, and
Yeah.
see people that look like them doing it, and so it's definitely a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's what that's why I always try to talk about the youth things like that. I sit my kids down, I like to watch it. I take them with me when I go out, do these type of things, and nieces, nephews, other kids around. It's always good to have a positive image for them to see. So we really appreciate it as well.
No,
Mhm.
I appreciate it. I really think that that's important too. We really need to have more good, positive models for our youth. Got to keep it balanced out there.
Mm,
Definitely.
exactly. That's why I always encourage, if you could be good, do good in any way, by all means, I implore you to do so, because I know for the kids especially, it means so much to them. So I definitely encourage you more on that.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, Brittany. Well, we'll definitely have you back again. We'll stay on top of any update news on the new date, and then go from there.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let you guys know. Hopefully, it'll be sooner than later.
Definitely. Definitely. I'll be excited as soon as I hear that date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, enjoy your food. Enjoy.
Yes. Yes.
Have a great,
Okay.
happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks. You too. Everybody,
All right.
guys.
All right. Peace.
That was fun.
That was a fun one. That was a very wholesome one, I'd have to say.
Yeah, no, I like her energy. I always have. Like I said, that day she came out dancing. I was like, okay, breaking up the monotony. Everybody's so tense, and she came and, like she said, she got jiggy with it a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah. Great interview too for around this time of the year, because with Thanksgiving literally just around the corner, she really brought that energy. And I really love that.
Right. Because, like you said, typically, I mean, I think last year around this time we got a Humberto or Adam
Mhm.
Lopez. It was either Humberto or Adam. I think it was close to this time period. And I know that was around a holiday, and they weren't able to eat. They were training.
That's right. That's right. I think, fuck. Yeah, had it been either Adam Ortiz or Humberto.
I want to say it was Humberto.
I
I
feel like it
want to say it was
was.
Humberto.
I
Yeah,
feel like it was.
and he was either gonna fight. He wasn't about to fight for Rough. I think he was gonna fight up in Riot. Was he fighting in Mexico?
No, it was when he was fighting oh, I forget his first name, something Mendoza, when he fought at Rough and he knocked that
That
dude out
was
in the
Rough.
second round. Yeah.
December, huh? Or no? Yeah, it was like early December. It was like December.
Yeah, yeah, it was when he fought something Mendoza and he knocked him out in the second round.
That's right. That is right. And then we seen Adam was supposed to fight the week after, or the same week. We seen him at Gila when we did the interview with Austin.
That's right, bro. That was one of my favorite interactions. Like the fact that we were already at the Gila River Resort to go ahead and do an interview with Austin Worms and Enrique Barcinas. We come across Humberto and Adam, and what really made it a wholesome moment in that occasion for me too is the fact that Adam said, like, quote unquote, he was saying, like, just last week I went back and watched our interview from start to finish, and it was just like, man, that was incredible.
Yeah. No, those we gotta reach out to them. I ain't talked to neither one of them in a while. But yeah, man, those is like we always talk about, man. A lot of these guys come across them, you end up becoming really cool with them especially after hearing their stories, come close, and most of these guys are really, really, really dope individuals.
Hmm.
I like what Brittany was saying. One of the things that she loves is that she gets introduced to so many different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the thing I always tell you, Josh? Like, yeah, I like him, but I like that dude. His personality is dope. Like, I fall in love
Yeah.
with personalities. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the bigger your personality is, the bigger your heart is, the more I like.
Exactly.
You know, Joe and Stanley, a great
Just another
example.
day in the office.
Dude, I fell in love with that dude's personality from the get-go. He just brings so much energy to the room whenever he's in there, and he doesn't even, like you said, like one of his favorite sayings, "Just another day in office." So he doesn't even have to say much, and you know, he just has that energy.
Mhm. Yeah, that's why I like Jameson Weber. I think he's really dope because when my interactions with him, when it's not fight night, he's very smiley, he's chill, he's cool, he's fun to talk to. But then when it's the actual fight night, bro,
Just
it's like a whole different person. He's ice cold, he's serious. He looks I always joke around
cold?
with him saying he looks scary SOB.
How cold?
Huh?
How cold?
Ice cold mother clucker.
You're funny. No, but you know, Blue Eye, another guy. You know, fight day. Don't see
Mhm.
you. He don't see you. Like he's here,
Mhm.
and just afterwards, after he handles business, he's one of the doper individuals in the whole game.
Mhm.
And we can go down the line. I can see more and more guys like that. You know, uh,
Yeah.
Marcus is in. You know, we've that like we were talking about the Humbertos and Adam Lopez's and the Austins and Enrique. Enrique's the same way. We talked about Enrique, how if Austin's in the octagon, he's or no, vice versa. If Enrique's in the octagon, Austin's one of the loudest people
Yep.
in the stands, and Enrique vice versa. They root each other on, but when it's fight day, it's they're
Mhm.
not they're not ain't no games to be played. Um,
Yeah.
and that's what a
Yeah.
lot of people get to see. They don't get to see the other sides, and that's why I enjoy what me and you are doing, because we get to bring out those other sides and help promote those other sides of them.
Mm. Exactly. And just to give a shout out as well to Jared, because he's been super loyal, always staying up with our show. Looks like he's going to be fighting again on December 16th. Now, what I really love about Jared as well is how passionate he is. It's like I tell him from time to time, have fun with it, enjoy the process, don't put so much stress on yourself, and then just enjoy the time you have in it. But just his passion in it, and when I have interviewed him, just the emotional investment that he has in it is something that I like to give a lot of respect for.
Yeah, and that is half of the battle, is having that constant motivation to get better, constant motivation to keep training, the constant motivation to keep pushing, no matter what kind of, what you go through. What's ahead of you? We never know what the road is ahead of us, and it's one of those things that you just got to kind of just push through. And
Mhm.
you know, Jared made his debut, didn't go the way he planned, but as soon as he was out, he was like, no, 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 no. I want to get back in there. I want to get back in there right away.
Mhm.
I mean, and so those type of things are what drives, like we were talking about, the development of character in the sport.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, especially too with how you come back or how you conduct yourself after a defeat. Cuz like a good example I'm going to use, cuz I watched a video on him just the other day, was like how KSI, when he fought Tommy Fury, how he reacted to his defeat. Boy, he was so salty. I saw Salt Bay in the background getting a bit jealous. Like that's that is not how you humbly accept defeat. Like, bro. So it's like, and it's yes, when you win, it shows a lot of your character. But me personally, I feel like when you lose, that shows the most character, because usually when you get put down when you lose or you're down in the gutters or whatever, that's where a lot of the true colors of your character comes out on whether or not you're going to let that slump get the best of you, or if you're still going to persevere and stay true to yourself and what you want.
Yeah, how much do you got in you? What are you made of? How much gas is really in your gas tank? Those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, you ever been hiking in the middle of summer in Arizona?
Yeah.
120.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, it's along the lines of the same thing. Like, Jared even chimed in on that one. Hell yeah. Bro,
I did it once in Havasu. Never again. I'm gonna do it either hella early or I'm gonna wait till it's cold.
bro, you get up towards the top. You're like, I'm almost there. The sun's like, nah, motherfucker, you here. You close to getting burnt. Like,
For real. Actually, for the first since I've been back in Phoenix, I haven't gone hiking yet, but it was just this weekend I actually hiked Mojave Trail. I think I told you about it too, right?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it was still a little bit warm. I had to take off my sweater. I had some little sweat going on, mainly because I was having to carry an extra 40 pounds of my kid, especially going down. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I had a rule. They got to be able to run, do cartwheels, and do all other sorts of stuff before I start taking them hiking with me. I'm gonna have to leave them in the car at the car running an AC on while I ain't carrying no kid down. I ain't doing it, Josh. You're better than I am.
Bro, I tell you what, it was great. It was great. He was loving it, but then as soon as we got to a little bit of the tougher spot, like halfway up, that's when he was like up, up, and I'd carry him. I'm literally like worried as shit that I'm gonna slip and fall and then just tumble down. But I'm literally just coming in clutch, climbing that motherfucker, and then doing the same thing majority of the way down.
You ever done South Mountain?
That I haven't done.
See, we're gonna have to do South Mountain. We're gonna do the easy side though, boy. South Mountain, talk about looking down. I remember growing up, I'd go hike that place, and we'd go up to one side and look down like, damn. If you slip, not fall, you ain't gotta fall. If you slip, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Surfing.
Yeah.
Surfing.
Yeah, there's a trail out in Havasu. It's called Sarah's Crack, no pun intended, but it branches off into two ways.
You caught me in the middle of the yawn. You can't just like stairs crack.
Yes, it's called Sarah's
It
Crack
is split
because
two ways.
so it's you're going through the wash, and then it's called Sarah's Crack because there's a massive mountain that's literally cut down the center. So it's like the Grand Canyon, how the walls are smooth, they slide together, and there's a naturally forming slide that goes down, and you go through the cracks, and it connects to the Colorado River. However, there's at the beginning, there's Lizard's Peak, where you're literally climbing up a mountain, and towards the top of the mountain, literally, it's a wall that you climb for like 20 feet.
I would just want to know who the hell named Sarah's Crack and Lizard's Peak, and they're connected. I just don't. I want to be. I want to. I want to be there. But yeah, Jared, I can't wait to see it as well. And you know what, man? That's part of the experience. That's part of
Mhm.
experience. You know, look at any sport, not just fighting. Look at any sport, bro. Rookies. One of the biggest thing about being a rookie is being able to control it, being able to be on the field during the football game and all that chaos. If you're the rookie point guard, being able to handle the ball in those chaotic moments and when the game's on the line, or controlling your emotions. That comes with experience, bro. And
Mhm.
like we said, one of the biggest things in this game is just getting back into the octagon, the ring, after a loss or after a very, very challenging moment. And you're already exceeding that portion. You got that down pat. So, you know, getting the emotions under control, that's going to come with time.
Mm-hmm.
That's come with repetition. You know, things of that nature. So you're doing everything that, you know, you're supposed to move towards that. So I applaud you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, that's what I love about what we're doing is that we're able to have such a genuine connection and give back in our own way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely does. Um, oh, for sure, bro.
All right, welcome, brother.
We are here for your journey, man. We are here. Um, you know, we enjoy the stories. Uh, we enjoy, uh, you know, everyone's personal situation. Everyone's different. Everyone came from a different background. Um, yeah, we can all meet the same spot, but how did you get here? How did I get here? How did you get
Mm-hmm.
here? That's what's interesting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we like to help with. So we're definitely here for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man, before we get up out of here, anything that you want to say?
As always, it's a privilege, man, getting to not only speak to these people, but to get to know them, their journey, and it's always a genuine privilege, and especially around this time of the year, it's definitely thankful for our journey so far, especially in just the short time that we've been doing this.
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, thank you for our followers. You know, it's almost like now that hit Thanksgiving is like the end of the year is like actually fucking here. Like,
Like what was it? We said that August was when we kind of linked up, but then it was around this year where things actually started going.
yeah, like January 1st,
Mm-hmm.
literally. I mean, well, no, because we were already doing it. Like Octoberish is when we really started full time. Me and you doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
October, like leading into November.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So yeah, this pretty much marks a little over a year, just about a year since we've started like the full grind. And you know, too, what's dope is that we're about to wrap up season 2 of Throwing Hands.
Season 2, Throwing Hands, is about to be concluded. You know what that means?
Peanut
New-
butter jelly time. No, I'm kidding.
Better be strawberry jelly. Um, New intro.
Mm-hmm.
Might see some of your favorite fighters, and that's gonna be the dope part. Our intro is now gonna be footage from us that we've done, and it's gonna be dope.
Man, I'm gonna have a whole nother year where I gotta think of these fucking clever ass intros. I can't believe I've been doing it for a year now with doing the intros.
I remember the first one you did. We literally laughed for like 20 minutes before the show started.
yeah, yeah, that was with Christian Byers.
I couldn't even like breathe. And
I
now
remember.
here you are a year later.
Hmm. That's crazy. I still remember Christian. He was all like, "Man, that's one hell of a fucking intro, bro."
Hell yeah, he fucking stunned my ass. Fucking pull out your inner Sim Sadie. You know what? You watch that dude on the reels, the white dude. He has like the blonde tipped hair. He'd be like, "Yeah, man," and he'd be talking about his cousin's Eminem, his cousin Slim.
Oh, fuck.
He'd be
I
doing the
think
reels.
I've seen that. I think I
Man,
have.
back in the day, man. Back in the day, M used to cut my hair. Yeah. M used to cut my.
Oh, it's been a minute since I've seen those.
He's talking about you. He ain't talking about Eminem.
Man, I'm insulted.
What you insulted for?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That was a compliment. His
I
cousin
know.
Eminem. He ain't talking about Eminem. He talking about you. That you his cousin. You his you his cousin. You his cousin. They don't know. Did it on the rhymes, man. He got the rhymes, man.
That's how we do it. Call me not so Slim Shady.
He's like, Eminem, my cousin. Remember back in the day?
Just be careful. He got adamantium knuckles.
You pulled your inner Slim Shady out, and
Yeah.
a year later now, you still rocking them.
That's why I'm glad I wrote poetry and read. That's I if I didn't do that, I would have fucking sucked ass at it.
You know, I'll tip my hat on the fact that sometimes we do have people on that we don't have much information on, and you still somehow are able to create one that's relevant to him. So, again,
well, thank you. I appreciate you. I think Anwan Ho's reaction was probably one of my favorites too.
yeah, man, it's crazy to run back the names of who we had on this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dope people, man. Some of my favorite local MMA guys. Some of my favorite MMA guys, period, have been on our show this year. So dope shit, bro. Dope stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, just like Moon Cosme. Now, that's actually I'd have to say that's one of my favorites too. Where fuck, I forgot what I said too. With that, is like he'll uppercut your head into outer space. All you see is a floating head with a broken orbital stuck to as a hospital bill that's not affordable. Elton John be sending you through a warm hole with broken corticals or something like that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows, period. Just because even the like advertisement we did for that show was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't get that damn reel out of my head. Talking to the moon. Every time I hear that song now, I see like the reel we made. Like
I still
damn head.
Yeah. I still remember the last 45 minutes of that interview. Both you guys were frozen, and I had to base my facial reactions off of your guys' voices. Like if you guys sounded hyped, I was all looking hyped. If you guys sounded serious, I was like,
that was a dope interview too. That's another dude that high on my list. Very,
mm-hmm.
very high on my list. Great guy, smart individual, dope fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's another guy we haven't talked to a lot lately. I haven't. I had to hit him up.
How dare you?
Bruh, I was just talking about delegating shit today. That was what the damn meeting was about. I need to find somebody I can delegate some stuff to.
For real, man. We definitely picked up too from a year ago to now. Like our workload and all that we're doing now has gone up tenfold.
Yeah, at one point I wasn't even doing that much stuff for the actual network. We were just focused on throwing hands because we were advancing so much so fast. So
Mm-hmm.
been good stuff though. Yeah, man. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna say thank you. Thankful for the year, and it just kind of like we just kind of walked into that whole we're thankful thing. Yeah, so I'm thankful for the year that we've had, and what you guys in the MMA community has allowed throwing hands to turn into so far, and can't wait to see what's next, where we're going, where we're headed.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Just wait. 3 to 5 years where we're at, brother.
Man, it's definitely moving towards more than just the right direction, man. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We got our number one real estate agent.
Hit up Jason Delany. But yeah, again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there. From Throwing Hands to you. I'm Jay.
And I'm Josh.
This is Throwing Hands.
Peace, sucker.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist ball, I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up, I get checked up, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless, yeah, I got next up, right, no we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to